Welcome to the Augustana Basketball Media Day. Today, Coach Krauth and Coach Billeter will have an opening statement, and the floor will be open for questions. Each coach and the present student athletes will then be available for one-on-one interviews. Feel free to use the space anywhere up here for those interviews. As a reminder, for the 21-22 basketball season, the NSIC's made an adjustment to doubleheaders. Some games the women will play first, other ones the men will play first. Schedules on GoAugie.com are accurate. With that, we'll begin with the Augustana women's basketball head coach, Dave Krauth. The Viking women are the reigning NSIC South Division champions with a 10-3 record in the division last season, and overall the Vikings finished with a 12-5 mark. In 21-22, Augustana women's basketball has been picked as the preseason favorite in the South Division and picked third in the overall NSIC standings. Welcome to the podium, the reigning NSIC Coach of the Year and 1,000-game winner, Dave Krauth.
That sounded pretty good, Ryan. I'll keep this relatively short. Another season. One of the things that happens to me fairly regularly in recent months is thinking back to last year, and in so many ways, for me, I found it to be a stressful year. And of course, it may be the obvious. We had a COVID year, and week after week, it was just, I felt myself on pins and needles, getting our kids tested, but not knowing your opponents, that type of thing, and then what kind of wrenches could get thrown into your schedule. We made it through it. We kind of got a late start because we dealt with COVID and quarantining, I believe, 3 times in the fall, so it was a late start for us last year, and so I was pretty apprehensive about, if we were going to be able to get ourselves ready to really play at the level we needed to. And as the conference season wore on last year, we started to come into our own and develop an identity. And it really, after the fact, I look back and thought, that was a good year, abbreviated, but a very good year. Now, as we move forward, one of my thoughts that come into my head, like I said, pretty regularly, is I hope we have some normalcy this year. And the way the fall seasons have gone, I think it's not going to be that difficult to be optimistic about that part of the upcoming next few months. Our team is. I don't know how might be the best way to describe our team at this point, but I would say for me, I think we're searching kind of for an identity right now. We lost our 2 wings from last year, and both very good players, and did an awful lot for me. I went back, or for us, I went back this summer and kind of looked at our stats, which I'm not a stat watcher generally through most of the season, but I went back. In addition to the obvious things that you glance at when you go to a stat sheet, they were just the kind of kids that led us in free throws, led us in steals, a lot of blue-collar type things. And of course now with this team, we're trying to replace a couple of those in very important parts. We have some players with some very good potential. A couple that I'll mention first, Ashlyn Duffy had an excellent year for us last year. She's out of Rapid City. And then Lauren Sees, a guard from Avon, South Dakota, also had a year where I felt she kind of came into her own as well, and they were 2 of the 4 kids that were mentioned on all conference selections. In addition, Jenny Oddlin started, if not all, I think she may have started all of our games last year, and I truly believe she's going to be an improved player from last year. And then Vishay Rab, who is here, and some of you will get a chance to talk to, is just that kid that people haven't forgotten about. She was a freshman of the year. She really is one of those dynamic players that bring some athleticism to the floor that not a lot of players do. So we're going to look to her a lot this year for things that she can do for us, not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end. So the last thing I'll just mention is this preseason poll this year. The coaches in the Northern Sun don't do their homework on these things, and this will be one of those years where, because and I'm not that familiar with the men's side, but on the women's side, the league is just loaded with super seniors, and the talent level is going to maybe be one of those years where I don't know if we'll match it, talent level. So there are some extremely good teams. Overall, Duluth, I think, is the cream of the crop. Best player in the league, and I just think that the South is going to be up for grabs. But like I said, there's going to be plenty of talent. So with that, it's kind of my overview of us and the upcoming season.
Are there any questions? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And we'll shift gears to the men's program with head coach Tom Billeter. Coach Billeter, the all-time winningest coach in Augustana men's basketball, is in his 19th season. He has a senior-laden team in 21-22 that is coming off a 9-7 record last season and went 7-6 in the South Division. Augustana men's basketball has been picked 4th in the NSIC South Division and 4th overall in the NSIC preseason coaches poll. Please welcome National Coach of the Year, Tom Billeter.
Thanks, Ryan. Again, thanks you guys for being here. It's great. Appreciate it very much. It's a unique deal for us. You're not going to believe that I'm the one that's going to say this, but what I've noticed about our team this year is we defend and we rebound, and I've never said that about our team much before. We're very, very good defensively. Usually talk about how well we can shoot the ball. That might be a bit of a problem this year. I don't know. We'll figure it out when it comes. But very happy with our efforts so far and our guys' attitude. Got a lot of experience back mixed with a whole bunch of youth. We've got, you guys are going to have an opportunity to visit with Ty and Adam, Dylan LeBrun, Isaac Fink. Those four in particular have got a lot of minutes played, and I really like meeting with especially Ty and Adam. They didn't have to come back. Both those guys are graduated. They're working on their master's degrees. They're going to be very successful both in life and have had very great careers for us. Both all conference last year. Ty, a two-time academic All-American. If he gets it 3, I don't know if that's happened before. It might have. I don't know. I'm not as good on my academic records as I am on other records, but it's quite an accomplishment. I know that. And meeting with those guys in the spring, both came back because they felt like there's gas left in the tank and more things to do and really want to prove something. And that's how they're practicing. We've got a unique situation at the point. This is going way back. I remember I was just a student at University of Illinois, and there was a kid that hung out and just was on the team for 4 or 5 years. I can't even remember. And they called him Apple. His name was Quinn Richardson. For 4 years, he didn't play a whole lot. He'd kind of come in at the end of games or whatever. He just kept working at it. Well, kids got hurt. Things go all over these different directions. He ends up starting his 5th year. He's all Big Ten. They have a great year. And I have a point guard named Jamison Bryan, and I always tell my team he's like a pair of brown, whole pair of brown shoes that goes with anything that you have to wear. He's just there all the time, and he just hangs in there. Unbelievable attitude. Comes every day to work, and he's had a really good fall. I think our guys are comfortable playing with him, and he's going to have a lot to do, in my opinion, of our success this year. He's really stepped it up. He had a great summer. He stayed this summer. He worked hard. He's had a great fall. And I usually don't, but for a kid to stay an extra COVID year as well, I gave him a lot of credit. And for these kids to be in their 4th and 5th years, and to work as hard as they did, they deserve an awful lot of credit and praise. And win, lose, or draw going into the year, I'm just very, I'm very proud of them and appreciative of them all coming back and giving us everything that they have. We are looking forward to fans. That's going to be fun. We're looking forward to normalcy again. I know our guys are excited. You're always excited to play. It's funny. We always talk about, we play in such a great venue. The Pentagon is a wonderful place to play. We never get a team flat. When they come in, they're all happy to be there. It's a nice locker room. They're not used to, probably nicer than a lot of locker rooms they have. Always good crowds. It's a great venue. And so when teams come in to play us, we get their best shot every single time. And to do that, you got to be pretty good. And our guys know that. We practice that way. And just to have the fans back and have the opportunity to, really for the first time since we've been out there, utilize it in our recruiting. We get to be out there as much as we possibly can to practice. It's just something that, we continue to build on, and we're happy to be there and very happy for, like I say, some normalcy in getting people back out there. In terms of, I don't know how good we are. I think we got a chance to hang into any game because we're going to guard you and we're going to rebound. I know our guys are excited about the season. I love being picked 4th or lower. I would have been fine with 14th. I like that. I think it's good for us to be there, and probably a pretty accurate pick. As far as the other teams, I've never been in a league. When I was in the West Suburban League as the assistant sophomore B coach at Hinsdale Central, or even when I was at Uni High in Urbana, Illinois, and lost my first JV game 83-13. Every league I've ever been in, I thought it's going to be great that year. I've never been in a bad league. And so I imagine our league will be as good as it's ever been. I know a lot of kids did stay. As to pick who's going to be good or not good, I have absolutely zero idea. Did want to mention, my assistant coach, Colin Authier, got the Mount Marty job kind of late in the summer, actually. And so we just traded one Mount Marty coach for the other one. So we were able to replace Colin with former player of mine, Cody Schilling, who obviously had an outstanding career, Hall of Fame. He's on our Wall of Fame, can be a Hall of Famer. But also Casey Schlatter, who we picked up as a free agent GA late a couple years ago, and just kept doing a great job for us. And both these guys were just outstanding this summer on the recruiting trail. And then Mckayla Mckennis is in his second year for us, and we call him a GA, but he's not a GA, he's an assistant coach. And those 3 guys have just done a fantastic job.